Hello my dear students. In heredity and variation we have already finished now with genetic Mendel's experiment on dihybrid cross. Now Mendel, because of the Mendel studies on the principles of heredity, it was easy for the scientist later on to find out if there are any genetic disorders in the people. Okay, so today we are going to learn about some of the genetic disorders which you should know about them, right? So let's begin with the genetic disorders and why these diseases are occurring. Fine. Now, genetic disorders are diseases which are caused due to diseases or disorders occurring due to abnormalities in chromosomes and mutation in genes are called genetic disorders. Now, what does this mean? Now, I have already mentioned to you that we have chromosomes in our body, and I have shown you the table also of the chromosomes of different animals also. If you remember, I have mentioned to you that human beings have chromosomes around 46 or 23 pairs of chromosomes. Suppose there is disorder in the or abnormalities in these chromosomes. If suppose there is an increase or decrease in the number of chromosomes, or maybe there are mutations. Mutations means some changes are taking place in the genes, then there will be some disorders occurring in the person. Okay, and it might lead to the disease for that person and through his entire life. So that means genetic disorders are very important for us to know. Fine. So how it can occur? It may occur because of the increase, as I've mentioned to you, or decrease. Now, for example, here you can see this is the human genome. Okay, where I have placed a human genome here. You can see here, this is entire human genome. This is human genome, and in this, if you see, always you see a pair of chromosomes. But if you see over here at this place, okay, where I have placed a point here, dot here, that you can see that there are 3 chromosomes. That means the number of chromosomes here have increased, and therefore here there is a problem. The person might be suffering from some disease, right? Then even here you can see in this case also that there is an increase in the last pair of chromosomes. Instead of 2 chromosomes, there are 3 chromosomes, and therefore this person also might have some or the other disorder. Let's move on. This is in the increase in the number of chromosomes. Let's see if there is a decrease in the chromosomes also. Yes, here you can see this rounded structure where you can see is only 1 chromosome is there. Therefore, it may lead to some disease due to decrease in the number. Now here, as I've mentioned to you, it might be the abnormalities in the chromosomes, or there might be some mutations in the gene. Now you have learned that genes are coding for the protein synthesis. Okay, suppose there is problem in some part of the gene, then also there will be a disease occurring. Like that, different types of disorders can occur due to different mutations in the genes. Now here you can see in the last part that third picture which you can see, which is only working. Others were also working, but there is some problem and they are not working. The first one is of the deletion. That means one part of the chromosome is getting deleted. You can see the first picture. In that you can see that it is getting deleted. Okay, so here you can see that it is getting deleted, and therefore the chromosome length has decreased, and because of this there will be a problem. Fine. Then here you can see in this case, actually this is translocation. Translocation means one part of the gene is getting translocated to some other place. Here this one also, in this case also there is translocation. If you pay attention here at this part, it is getting translocated. So this is full entire length. This is the entire length of the chromosome, and some part of it is getting translocated. Okay, that means changing its place. Then you can see over here in this case it is getting duplicated in the sense what, you can see green color is going on the other side. That means the duplication of that green color part of the gene is getting extra, and therefore there will be some problem. Then in the last case, if you see over here, this part, wherein this part, you can see that it is getting, it is not shown here clearly, but there is something called as inversion. You can see that blue color is there and green color is there down. So in the second part, if you see, you can see that green color has come down and the blue color has gone up. That is called as a mutation, called as inversion. So because of the inversion in part of the gene also, there will be some genetic disorder. Fine. So this is regarding the genetic disorders and the chromosomal abnormalities. So due to chromosomal abnormalities, increase or decrease in the number of chromosomes, or even due to mutations in the genes also, there might be certain genetic disorders in the human beings. So let's study few of them. First, let us learn about some of the, let me give you some examples of some genetic disorders. You might have seen people having, a cleft lip or the cleft palate. Okay, so this is cleft lip or cleft palate is one of the physical disorder. That means which is seen from outside. Fine. Albinism, that means you might have seen people which are very white in color or very fair, but actually they are not fair, but they are lacking some pigment called as black pigment called as melanin, and because of that you can see that their full face is white and their hair has also turned fully grey, and even their eyebrows also grey, their eyes will be pink. That is the condition called as albinism. Then this third picture where you can see the hands of that person, of that child, it is called as sickle cell anemia. Okay, which you are going to study later on. I am not talking about it right now. And last figure is of the person which is having, finger is shown with the blood. Here in this case, this is also genetic disorder wherein person lacks the ability, the blood of that person lacks the ability to clot. Therefore, even if there is a small injury anywhere on the body, the blood will continuously flow. So this is also called as haemophilia, is one of the physiological disorder which occurs within the body. And sickle cell anemia is also physiological disorder, whereas cleft palate or cleft lip and the albinism are physical disorder. That means outer appearance you can see like this. Fine. Now next is human beings. Human beings have 46 chromosomes in the form of 23 pairs, and you can see the genome of the human being or karyotype of the human beings, wherein you can see that there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. Here you can see that there are 23 pairs of chromosomes, and each pair is numbered from 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. They have numbered up to the 23rd pair, and 23rd pair is shown here of the male as well as of the female. So 22 pairs out of these 23 pairs are called as autosomes, whereas the last pair, that is the 23rd pair, is also called as the sex chromosome, which determines the sex of an organism, whether the person will be a male or a female. So from that you can see the last pair of chromosome over here, which I will show you now here. So this is the last pair of chromosome wherein you can see XX and XY, wherein XX is for the female and XY is for the male. It's not, both are not there in one person, just I have shown you together so that I don't have to place another picture. So both I have shown together so that you remember. Okay, so 23rd pair is a sex chromosome which determines the sex of a person, whether the person will be a male or a female. Okay, so remember this. So there is great variation in the size and shape. If you see the size and shape of all the chromosomes here, you can see that the size and shape of all the chromosomes is different. Fine. And these pairs have been numbered from 1 to 23, wherein 22 number 20 up to 22 pairs are called as autosomes, and 23rd pair is called as a sex chromosome. So chromosomes in women are represented as 44 plus XX. 44 means 22 pairs. 22 multiplied by 2 becomes 44, and total 46 chromosomes are there. Out of which 22 pairs, 22 pairs equal to 44. A pair means 2 chromosomes. In one pair there are 2 chromosomes, that means 22 pairs will be 44. And the last pair, which is sex chromosome, has double X or maybe X and Y. If it is double X, 44 plus XX, then it will be a female, and if it is 44 plus XY, then it will be a male person. Okay, fine. So this is regarding the human karyotype. Now suppose if there is a problem in these number of chromosomes, or within the chromosomes, if there is a problem in the genes, then the person may have genetic disorder. So let's see some of the examples of genetic disorder. So before that, you have seen that Mendel has shown in his experiment that there exist two different types of genes, that is dominant genes and the recessive genes. And the dominant genes are always expressed in the first generation, as I mentioned to you, in monohybrid and dihybrid ratio. Like tallness was shown in the first generation, and in the case of dihybrid ratio, dihybrid cross, we have seen that rounded and yellow seeds were seen, whereas the recessive characters were seen in the second generation. So from Mendel's experiment, we have come to know that there are some characters which are dominant, some characters which are recessive. So if we take into account the number of chromosomes in the human cells, their sex related type, whether it will be a male or a female, and the genes on the chromosomes which may be dominant or recessive, then we can see where genetic disorders originate and how they are inherited in the person. Okay, if everything is known, we can easily find out where exactly is the disorder. And now you have come to know that there might be chromosomal abnormalities as well as the mutations in the gene. And mutations of the genes also have told you that there might be deletion, translocation, or inversion or duplication of the genes. And then of course there will be some disorders. And chromosomal abnormalities, whether there is increase or decrease in the number of chromosomes. So today we are going to learn about the chromosomal abnormalities due to increase or decrease in the number of chromosomes. Fine. So let's begin now. So disorders due to chromosomal abnormalities, these disorders occurs due to numerical changes in the chromosome. That means, as I mentioned to you, if the number increases or the number decreases, then these disorders will be having. And if suppose this disorder is there in the autosome means those 22 pairs are called as autosomes, whereas the last one is called as sex chromosome. Therefore, suppose there is change in the number, that means mostly, especially when the autosome number is less, one pair of them, one of the pair, if the chromosome is less, then the offspring means the child will not be sterile. Sterile means they will be able to reproduce. They will be able to reproduce if the number of chromosomes is less. Okay, and instead if there is an increase in number of any of the autosomal pair, suppose in the autosomal pair if there is an increase in the number of pair, then what can happen to such people? Then there might be some physical abnormality or maybe some mental abnormalities arising, and even their lifespan is shortened. Okay, so let's see now some of the disorders due to numerical changes in both the autosomes as well as sex chromosome. So the number we are going to see of the autosomes, one that is Down syndrome, and sex related abnormalities two, that is Turner syndrome and Klinefelter's syndrome. So first one is Down syndrome, wherein there is increase in the autosomal pair, one of the autosomal pair. Let's see which one it is. So first one is the Down syndrome. Okay, Down syndrome, you might have seen certain children, they are always, they are mentally retarded. You might have seen they have a special school for them because they cannot sit in the, school where the normal children are going. So they have special school because they have, mental retardation. They are not very good at, behaving with people. I mean, they are mentally retarded. So why this is occurring, or what is it called as? It is called as Down syndrome. So Down syndrome is a disorder arising due to chromosomal abnormality. And where is that chromosomal abnormality? You can see in this picture over here. this one, that is the 21st pair which is there. Okay, 21st pair which is there is having 3 chromosomes. Okay, instead of 2 chromosomes, in the normal person there are 2 chromosomes, but in the Down syndrome the 21st pair is having 3 chromosomes instead of 2. Since there are 3 chromosomes instead of 2, it is also called as trisomy of the 21st chromosome. It is also called as trisomy of the 21st chromosome, and it is commonly called as the Down syndrome. So that means instead of 46 chromosome, these people will have how many chromosomes? They are having 47 chromosomes. Normal people have 46 chromosomes, they have 47 chromosomes, and here the abnormality is in the autosomal pair, not in the sex chromosome. So this is the first discovered and described chromosomal disorder in the human beings. This disorder is characterized by the presence of 47 chromosomes. It is described as the trisomy of the 21st chromosome. Infants with this disorder infants means the babies which are newly born are called as infants. With this disorder have one extra chromosome with the 21st pair in every cell of their body. Okay, every cell, not only a single cell. You know, in a cell there is a nucleus, and inside the nucleus there are chromosomes. That means they will be present in all the cells because we are made up of cells. Therefore, in each cell, this trisomy or 21st pair will be having the extra chromosome. Okay, instead of 46, 47 chromosomes they are having. And how do these children look like? You might have seen children looking like this. Okay, so children, now what are the symptoms from which we can understand that these children are mentally retarded? Okay, so children suffering from Down syndrome are usually mentally retarded and have a short lifespan. You know, these children, very poor children they are. Poor children means I'm not talking about poor in the sense they are money wise, but poor because you know they have a very short lifespan, only up to 16 to 20 years, and the whatever time they are living with that disorder. Okay, so mental retardation is the prominent characteristics here in these children. So, and other characteristics, your symptoms will include the short height of them. Okay, you might have seen these children, they are short heighted, then yeah, they are having this neck, you know, short neck with which is wide like this, short wide neck. Then flat nose also will be flattened. Okay, short fingers also will be very short. Scanty hair, less hair they will have. And on the palm, we are having 3 crease on our palm. They will have a single horizontal horizontal crease on their palm. We have 3. Okay, so they will have how many? Only 1, and that too horizontal crease on the palm, and their life expectancy is only 16 to 20 years. So this disease is also called as Down syndrome, also scientifically called as trisomy of the 21st chromosome. You can see the title, trisomy of the 21st chromosome. Let's see now the next chromosomal abnormality that is occurring in the sex chromosome and not the autosome. This was autosomal pair because it is 21st pair. Now let's see in the sex chromosome what are the types of diseases. So here we are going to take only 2, that is, one is Turner syndrome, also called as monosomy of X chromosome. Just now we have learned about trisomy. Tri means 3, monosomy means single. Fine. So it is monosomy of the X chromosome. Normally women have 44 plus XX. Normal women have 44 plus XX number of chromosomes. Okay. Fine. So in these female, this occurs only in the female. Turner syndrome is a disease of a female. So these females have only 1 X chromosome. Okay. So because of this abnormality in sex chromosome, also Turner syndrome arises due to either inheritance of only 1 X chromosome from the parent, or maybe due to inactivation of the gender related part of the X chromosome. Fine. So it's maybe because whenever there is reproduction, fertilization, either only one X chromosome has come from only one parent, the other parent may not have shared, and therefore this disease may occur in this. Or suppose that X chromosome, which is a sex chromosome, suppose it has inactivated, the gender related part of that X chromosome is inactivated, then they might have this syndrome, Turner syndrome. So instead of the normal 44 plus XX condition, women suffering from Turner syndrome show 44 plus X condition. And since one X chromosome is less, these women also may be sterile. So these women are sterile in nature. That means they do not reproduce or they do not give birth to a child. Okay, so you have to remember Turner syndrome is also called as monosomy of the X chromosome. You can see here which is rounded structure here, wherein only 23rd pair, which is sex chromosome, has only one X chromosome there. That is why it is called as monosomy of the X chromosome. Fine. Then next we will this is the person's hand, wherein the person whoever is suffering from Turner syndrome, their hands are like this. You can see like this. Okay. Now next we will have the last part of today's video, that is the last disorder of the chromosomal abnormality called as Klinefelter syndrome. So Klinefelter syndrome occurs in the case of men. We have seen now in a child, we have seen in a woman. Now we are talking about the Klinefelter syndrome, which is in the case of men. Now men have, instead of X and Y chromosome, they have one extra chromosome. So you might have heard about people, I mean the men, showing behavior like that of a women. Okay, so they are having this condition. Okay, that is since they are having one extra X chromosome, they behave like that. It is not their mistake that they are having it. It is due to reproduction time there is a problem. Then that is why instead of having X and Y chromosome, they are having XXY. That means that is why they behave like a female. Okay, and even their characters, body characters, are also similar to women. So this disorder arises in men due to abnormalities in the sex chromosome. So in this disorder, men have extra X chromosome. Hence their chromosomal condition becomes 44 plus XXY instead of the normal condition 44 plus XY. So such men are also sexually sterile. That means they also cannot help in the process of reproduction because their reproductive organs are not well developed. Okay, students, I hope so you have understood about what are genetic disorders, and in the genetic disorders we have learned today about the disorders due to chromosomal abnormalities. Okay, so next time we are going to learn about disorders due to genetic mutations in the genes. Okay, mutations in the gene. It may be monogenic disorders, and finally will be the polygenic disorders. So till we meet again in the next time, bye and thank you dear students.